You know that I'm drunk right now.
What? You were such a
I'm like,
lightweight.
well, I haven't had a drink in 2 months, and that, like, I am like, it was really good.
I put the bottle.
No,
Tell me why, oh why it feels so right. It feels so right to be alone. Whether day or night, rain or shine, it feels so right to be alone.
hey everybody, welcome back to Arlene Is Alone. Today I am alone with Tommy Smythe, who is a dear friend. He is an amazing interior designer, an amazing business person, and an accidental TV personality who is actually very much larger than life on TV.
Oh, that's so nice to say. I'm happy to be here with you.
Hey, Tommy.
Again.
Are you single?
No, I am not currently single. In fact, I've not been single for really long stretches of time in my life. And what is so frustrating about that for me is I actually, prefer my alone time to time with another person. It's not to say that I don't love those people, haven't loved them, didn't love them, don't currently love my partner, but I cherish my alone time. And as a person, as a fellow person in media, I spent most of my adult life, never alone. There's always somebody
Yeah.
there. It's
Cameras on you.
cameras on you, or somebody at home, or an obligation that you have to do, or a party that you need to go to, or a work function, or a business that you're running.
Yeah.
And so I'm literally almost constantly, when I'm not sleeping, surrounded by people, and sometimes even when I'm sleeping.
When you talk about kind of who you are, like you like to your alone time, and you are surrounded by people all the time, but it's not necessarily what you want to have. I'm so much the same, Tommy. Like I am like, I think it's being an introvert, right?
We have the same lives,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You and I have parallel lives.
Yeah.
We don't have parallel bank accounts because I'm not a business person like you are.
You are. You've
I
got
mean,
your own business.
I
What are
have
you
a
talking
successful
about?
business, but it's so not on the scale that yours is. And so, sorry, I was a waiter for like 20 years, so I know how to do this.
You do. I'm impressed.
Like my side hustle was the media stuff,
Yeah.
same as you. Like
Yeah.
you were a business person first, you grew
Yeah.
the business, you had it before you did TV. We are on television because we're good designers. We're
Yeah.
not good designers because we're on television.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a pretty important distinction for me. But I loved the television work that I did. The years that I was
Thank you.
doing that, is that a skimpy pour?
No, that's perfect.
Is
I
that
haven't had a
you?
drink in a couple months, so this is a
Oh,
lot.
wow. Okay. So you're a cheap date tonight.
I'm a
You've
cheap
got
date
zero
tonight,
tolerance
but
built up.
I love a great Chablis. So
Cheers.
cheers. Cheers.
This is a good one.
Yeah. When did you first couple up? Like, how old were you when you got into your first serious relationship?
18.
18.
But it was secret.
Ah,
So my first boyfriend was a fellow by the name of Douglas Curry. He was from the Bahamas. So I was on holiday with my friends
Yeah.
when I was about 17. And we went out to a nightclub, and I met him in a nightclub and disappeared. And we started a long distance relationship that lasted 3 years.
really?
Yeah. And my parents got really suspicious of like, what is this friendship that you have, like where you're traveling, and
rich.
spending all your money on going on flights to Nassau.
Hmm.
And then that's sort of how I got drawn out of the closet.
Oh, okay. So they didn't know at the time that you were gay. They were just,
I mean, they probably knew.
they knew.
Like, don't,
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah, parents
a
know.
parent knows.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was in a relationship that lasted like 25 years with gaps. And then I had a really great 9-year relationship with an actor by the name of Stephen Gallagher, incredibly talented actor and playwright. That was a rich life. There was so much music in our house, and he was a musical theater performer with an incredible singing voice. So that was a fun thing. And that relationship was really an exploration of how to have a conventional life.
Mhm.
Like that relationship was, we had 2 dogs, we had a house, we
Same friends. Yeah.
had the Christmas party every year, dinner parties, same group of friends. It was a really traditional life, which I thoroughly enjoyed and wanted and needed at that time. And now I'm with another Patrick,
Another Patrick.
who is much younger than I.
How much younger?
Not disturbingly, but 18 years younger.
18 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
All
big
right.
gap.
That's a big gap.
Yeah, not something that I would be seeking.
Yeah.
But it's something that happened to us.
And it's working.
It is working. It's been 7 years. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but he's such an incredibly talented person. He is a professional interior design photographer who is wildly successful at what he does. And he's complex, and he's interesting, and he's very handsome. He looks like Justin Theroux. I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm old now, So I
Come
don't want
on.
to like, I don't want to look at a body that's as gross as mine.
So you
You know
want,
what I mean?
so it's okay for him to look at your body,
He
but it's
looks
not okay for you to
amazing.
look.
He looks amazing without clothes on. And I
He's
just
fine.
never take my clothes off.
You just never take your clothes off?
Never, no.
Really?
No, never. No.
Does he notice that?
Yeah, he teases me about it all the time. There was a time when I was very beautiful unclothed. I have no problem saying that. I knew that at the
Yeah.
time. I used it at the time.
Yeah.
And now things are different. Things are in different places.
I always say, like, I have the same body I've always had. It's just 2 inches lower. Like it's what happens is gravity. But I think you're being very hard on yourself.
I
right?
think I'm wearing a turtleneck today because I hate my neck right now. I
Yeah.
really want to get my neck done.
And will you?
I don't know. I might be too chicken.
Turtlenecks were invented for a reason.
Well, and they really do hide a lot. There's this developing sort of thing here. Like I have like a vagina on my Adam's apple suddenly, is what it looks like. And I thought,
Not that you would know what a vagina looks like. How would you know what a vagina looks like?
I mean, touche. You make a valid point there. I look at every relationship like a body of work.
Mhm.
And a body of work has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
And if the end is not great, you can't let that ink in the water of the part that was really good.
All right.
And so whenever I've had a breakup or a separation from somebody that I loved, I've always sort of been able to look at it, I've taught myself to look at it as a really valid way to spend my time and my energy and my emotions
Mhm.
with a person who is worthy of that because I chose them and they chose me,
Mhm.
and not walk away with resentment or bad feelings about those people. So I love them. I still love all of them. I love them equally. I'm in touch with almost all of them. And so I think I've had a relationship life to be proud of. It looks chaotic from an outsider's point of view, but for me, it wasn't.
Did you end them or did they end them?
Both.
And
I've been dumped.
you've been dumped?
Oh, yes.
And
I
you're still
was-
friends?
No, but I'm in touch with his family because I worry about him. And
Yeah.
and stuff.
I wish I was more like that. I'm more of a it's over, it's over. Like I'm done. Like I tend to just I can just stop. Like I can just stop the connection because it does feel like an end to me. And I think when it's not an end, it feels messier for me. So I don't.
Well, that's healthy for you, right?
It is healthy for
That's
me.
healthy for your heart and
Yeah.
for your mental
Yeah.
health.
Are you the person that does the reconciliation afterwards? That does that work and says, "Okay, I can be."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest fault, I would say like we were doing a job interview.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is very scary with Arlene Dickinson. So we're going to try not to get
Show me your balance sheet. That would be my first.
No.
That's a date. That's a date, not
Yeah,
a job
yeah,
interview.
oh my
sorry.
God, that's
That's a
totally a
date
date.
interview.
Yes, that should be a
That's right.
date.
Should be.
Yes,
Should be.
yes. I usually say that my biggest flaw is that I care too much what other people think of me.
Yeah.
And
People
and it's
pleaser.
very true. It matters to me that people know that I have good intentions. It matters to me that people know that I'm a forgiving person. It matters to me that they know who I am.
Mm.
And it shouldn't sometimes, it hurts my feelings. I joke that I had my feelings surgically removed in the early 90s and it was the best thing I ever did. But actually, I'm a very feeling person.
Yes, I know you
So
are.
even when somebody says something mean to me on Instagram in a comment or something, I really take it personally.
It's hard when you're a public person and you put yourself out there
Mhm.
and you get kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and people feel very entitled to come after you for everything, any opinion, any view, anything.
Yeah.
It's hard not to take it personally.
Well, as a gay person, you have, to a certain element of society, you already have a target on your back
Yeah.
before you even go out in front of the lights and the cameras.
Yeah.
And so over the years, of course, as a public person, I've had that, that kind of negative attention, but the positive attention so vastly outweighs it. So
Yeah.
innumerously outweighs it that, I'm able to process it and deal with it.
And maybe that's just like what you said about relationships is that you hold on to the good things and you let go of the bad things because the bad things can be like poison
Yeah.
and they're not worth it, right?
Absolutely. And they are poisonous.
Yeah.
I think separate trips is an interesting topic too. Patrick and I go on separate trips. Patrick's idea of a vacation is he goes on wellness retreats, which basically means you're on a liquid diet and you have a hose up your ass 3 times a day.
That sounds like so much fun.
Not to me.
Yeah,
So,
not to me
no.
either.
Yeah. So he goes and does that in a hot place. I don't like hot vacations either.
Yeah.
So he goes to a hot place like Costa Rica and does that. And I go to London or Paris or both and go to museums.
I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you, just so you know.
You and I like the best. Yeah. We like, I shouldn't say the best things. We like the same things.
Yes.
And I have utter total respect for the fact that that is how Patrick relaxes.
Yeah.
And he has total respect for the fact that I can't do that.
Relax on that. Yeah.
And so we just go in separate directions. People are like, are you guys okay? Is your relationship okay? And I'm like, it's okay because we do this.
Yeah.
That's why it's okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
We sleep in separate rooms.
Yeah. I think that's very healthy for, like, let's talk about that. Like, sleeping in a separate room, is that good for a relationship or bad for a relationship?
It is incredibly good for a relationship. I've done both.
Yeah.
So I speak from total authority.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that it is very good for the relationship. You can start off the evening snuggling in bed together, and then one person calls out and goes to the other room.
Yeah.
And then has a blissful, uninterrupted sleep.
Yeah.
With no noise, no farting, no snoring, no
bathroom breaks.
No bathroom, getting up, go to the toilet.
Yeah.
You have peace on earth.
Yeah.
And goodwill toward men.
Just going back to the 18-year difference, age difference, do you ever worry about him leaving you? Do you ever worry about that age?
All the time. Listen, this is the biggest running joke that he rolls his eyes to in our relationship is I've said from day one, this is going to be a great, sort of like fun thing for me. And eventually you're going to come to your senses and find somebody your own age.
Yeah.
And he denies it and he says, no, whatever. But I wouldn't say I live in fear of it, but I live in low-key expectation of it.
Oh, interesting.
And if it did happen, I would go back to what we talked about earlier, which is body of work. Like we had a great run. This was amazing while it lasted. And I also said to him, like, if I have a stroke or something and I'm dribbling into my incontinence pants, please don't stay around. I have started to go bald on my ankles. You almost did a spit.
Not what I expected.
Shouldn't have taken a sip.
Not what I expected. When you said I started to go bald, I thought, what is he going to say? What is he going to say?
Listen.
Like ankles or somewhere else?
My ankles, because I've been wearing socks for 54 years, are starting to go bald. And so when I wear shorts now, I'm hairless up until halfway up my shin. And then I'm hairy from there to up until, the meat and potatoes. So you just have like these things that happen. And I'm like, there's no product. Like if you start going bald on your head, like right now I take an anti-balding medication.
Yeah.
So that I can keep the hair that I have
but there
as
is,
long as I can.
There isn't an anti-ankle.
Your ankles.
Nothing for your ankles.
No.
Nothing?
Maybe should I develop something and bring it on
like a cream or something for your ankles?
And bring it on.
Yes, I mean,
would you invest in that?
No, because I don't. You are the first human that's ever said that they have an issue that I've talked to that has an issue with hair on their ankles.
You wait for the comments bar after this airs.
Yeah.
And I bet some gents are going to chime in and say, I've been really disturbed about this myself.
So maybe it leaves your ankles and it goes into your ears and nose because I think
that does happen too.
Right?
And on top of that, I can't do anything about this. Look.
Oh, I can't even see.
No, but look at the difference. See how hairy it is here? And then down here, it's bald. I'm telling you, it's from the socks.
Is it? Do you know that I'm drunk right now?
What? You were such
I'm like, well, I haven't had a drink in 2 months and that, like, I am, it was really good.
I picked the bottle.
No. So Patrick mistakenly, because that would be such a stupid thing for him to do, but he leaves you for a younger man.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Who are you going to be with next? Who would you choose?
I wouldn't choose a single soul. I mean, this relationship with Patrick was a bonus round for me. So when Patrick comes to his senses and does find somebody his own age, I won't be with anybody else because I want to have my later years to myself.
That's interesting. I always say that as I've gotten older, that I want my world to be bigger, not smaller.
Yeah.
That the only way to do that is to put yourself into places and situations and do things that you haven't allowed yourself to do because you've been busy leading life and doing the things that are expected of you. And I think when you get a chance to be alone, but I got to tell you, like, Tommy, I think you're self-deprecating to a point. Like, I think, like maybe it's humor, but I think you talk about like he's going to, like he's one day will leave me. Like, I think you do say, I think you have a fear of it that you kind of, if you say that expect it to happen, then you're not going to be
And you're off the
hurt by
hook
it.
when it
Right,
does happen.
right,
Yes.
right.
That your press release is easily
Right, right. Yeah, I always knew this was going to happen.
There's a little bit of that maybe, but honestly, I'm also a very confident person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also an excellent partner.
Tell me what you do.
I'm really good at making a home.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I do for
Yeah,
a living, but
yeah.
I'm really good at doing it
Yeah,
for us.
yeah,
I'm incredibly respectful of boundaries.
yeah,
I'm not a snooping in the drawers kind of person.
yeah.
I learned a long time ago that you're not going to find anything that you want to find.
It's true.
And so I'm really respectful of his privacy,
Yeah.
even though we're in an intimate relationship.
You never get jealous?
Of course I do.
So how do you not snoop?
He looks like Justin Thoreau. Like, wouldn't you? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you not get jealous? And how do you not want to snoop?
Because I know in my gut,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had one bad experience with this, that you're not going to find something that you want to find. And many times you're going to find something that you think is something that it isn't.
Yeah.
And so
And make it
those
into
kinds of secrets aren't good secrets to have.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
The good secrets to have are, I've got 4 new moles that look weird on my back, and I don't want you to see that. That's a secret you can keep.
I've often said if I ever get in another relationship, and I really, at this stage in my life, I can't even imagine being in another relationship, but if I ever did, it would be very non-traditional. It would be very much about living our own lives and
Yes.
doing our own thing and coming together when we needed to. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, because they're non-traditional, and a lot of the traditions that people feel that they have to adhere to get them into so much trouble. Like I know not so many, but I know a handful of women who had kids and shouldn't have, but had them because
It was a
they were
societal
supposed to.
pressure. Yeah.
Got married to a person at a certain age,
Yeah.
Or by a certain age, milestone age, and shouldn't have, but did because everybody was pressuring
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
or they felt that they had to.
Yeah.
Gay people have never really had any of that because nobody ever gave a shit what we did. In fact, people were more going about the business of preventing us from doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
So ergo, we had no problem doing something else.
It's interesting that I was raised as a Mormon, and so I was raised.
Oh my God, I forgot that
Yeah,
about you.
so
that's
so
intense.
like at the time, like if we weren't married by the time we were 21,
Yes.
we were way past our best
Yesterday's
before date.
news.
Yesterday's news. You had to
Yes.
get married young. You had to have kids young. You had to you were a vessel for procreation, and if you weren't getting married, there was something wrong with you. And so you
Now, of course, I want to become a Mormon. That sounds so attractive.
well, you
Sounds so
get
amazing.
excommunicated if you don't have hair on your ankles. I'm sorry, just got kicked right out of the church. You're done. What would you tell people who are single out there, or thinking about their relationships, or challenging themselves about whether they're happy? What would you tell them?
I would say, first of all, happiness is not a sustainable emotion. And if you're chasing that, you're chasing something you're never going to catch.
Mm-hmm.
And also that it's okay not to be in a relationship. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's so much pressure on people to be part of a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And this all comes from, organized religions and, social norms that were created by politics and cultures that were formed by people who had some pretty crazy, wacky ideas. Your ideas are the best ideas
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what a relationship
Mm-hmm.
looks like. And whatever that does look like, you don't have to share that with everybody. You don't have to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
Or if you do,
Yep.
so be it.
Yep.
Being a gay person, gay people have all kinds of unconventional relationships. And by and large, when you live as long as I have, you hear from a lot of straight people that they're really jealous of some of those things.
Yeah, it's true. Final question. You're having a dinner party. Do you only invite couples, or do you invite single people too?
Always both. Absolutely always both. And hopefully, all genders and lots of different backgrounds and social strata and tax brackets. I mean, when you have a bunch of
Love that, yeah.
you know this
Yeah.
probably more than most people.
Yeah.
When you have a room full of only high net worth
Yeah.
people, that's a fucking horrible party.
And it's boring as hell.
It's a
It's boring
shit
as hell.
party.
It's a shit party.
It is a shit
Yeah.
party.
Tommy, cheers. I love you, man.
Love you too.
Yeah. See you next time.